Hi, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys.com, home of technical analysis education. Click the link for a free week trial, no credit card required, and gain access to our multiple live broadcasts daily, community chat room, educational videos, nightly watch lists, and more. Invest in your education and future and join the community today. Hello everyone, looking at SPY on the daily, weekly, and shorter term time frames. And if you didn't watch yesterday's video, I highly suggest going back to it. It was a perfect example of looking at multiple time frames, finding key support levels lining up. We used moving averages on the daily, the weekly, and some Fibonacci levels, and they all indicated the next key support level was in the 211.50 range. Pre-market low for SPY this morning was 211.30 or 40, and then the bulls showed up, and you can see this candlestick, how it all went down. So very pleased with the bulls defending that key level, and very pleased with how technical analysis had us looking at that level as support. So the bulls came out in full force. The gap down open, as also in the yesterday or in the video Friday suggested was likely as we closed at the low of the day. And then the bulls certainly showed up, closing above the lower Bollinger Band resistance, but unable to close above the 50-day moving average resistance of 216.50. If we reject from that level again tomorrow and cannot close above it, we're going to pull back and consolidate a little bit. So we'll look to the lower Bollinger Band to be the next support if we can't get over that 50-day. If we can, we know the 10-day moving average and the middle Bollinger Band resistances are in the mid to upper 217s, and there's a gap to fill at 218.15. Volume was very impressive for the bulls. We had 167 million. It's no 220 million of Friday, but clearly the bulls had some power behind this move today. And let's look at the weekly quickly, and then we'll check in the other time frame. So the channel right now on the daily is the 100-day moving average support and the 50-day moving average resistance until we can get over that level. And that's fairly close to lining up with the middle Bollinger Band weekly support and the 10-week moving average resistance as a channel. The goal for the bulls this week would be very bullish if we closed above 217.07 by the end of the day Friday. Turn that 10-week moving average back into support. So let's look at SPY and some of the indications of when the bulls were strong today. So we saw the oversold bounce begin pre-market, and we saw some upside. We were anticipating, or at least I was anticipating, an oversold bounce to start with, and then some pullback and some weakness. And we didn't ever really get that pullback, but we saw the bullish move, didn't want to get too excited here, and jump right in. We saw the consolidation, formed support, and then the bulls showed up. So now we've got a higher low and a higher high. Now it's time to start paying attention to these bulls. Then they turned the 200 period into support. They back tested it and held it, giving confidence to the bulls and continued to the upside. So now we've got all 5-minute moving averages as support. Definitely a strong start to the day. And we zoom out and then look at the hourly chart to see how things are shaping up. And we see that the key 20 period hourly resistance is 214.08. So we closed just above it by a penny this candlestick. That's not convincing. But the next candlestick is when I was really impressed by the bulls, because we back tested, held that level, and then continued to the upside. So there was tons of bullish strength. Then the bull volume showed up, and we didn't really consolidate much on the hourly chart today. So we could be in for some consolidation heading into tomorrow. I'll be watching this 20 period moving average, which is now beginning to ascend. I'll be watching that very closely. On any kind of pullback, the bulls really want to hold that level. And after pre-market tomorrow gets factored in, this level will be in the mid 214 to the upper $214 range. So there were indications on the shorter term time frames letting us know that this strength was for real, and the volume was certainly very telling that that strength was for real. And it is certainly more than just an oversold bounce on the daily time frame today. That being said, if we reject from the 50-day first thing, or if the bulls are unable to break the high of today up at 216.81, if the bulls cannot break that level first thing, we could be in for some consolidation. And again, that hourly 20 period is going to be our first target. So the start of the day will be very telling, especially that reaction to the resistance of 216.81. Update that 10-day moving average, or the 50-day moving average right at the opened as well. That's going to be a key level to keep an eye on. And tomorrow the bulls need to confirm the bullish reversal candlestick from today. Otherwise, we will consolidate after such a bullish move and bounce around between the $215, $216 area a bit. So I appreciate you watching. We will certainly check back in tomorrow. Have a wonderful night.